Can Dragon Ball Legends handle this anniversary all the way to the end? Part 3 is their last chance, and here's what it needs to deliver. Hey, Grimmy here, and it's pretty clear the 7th anniversary needs Part 3 to bring it all home. So today, we'll be going into all the things I believe Part 3 needs to deliver as a deserving finale for the 7th anniversary. Let's start with what's currently in the community spotlight, the next Ultra. Whether you'd like to admit it or not, the Ultra unit will be doing a lot of carrying for this part, fueling community discussion while changing the meta as we know it. So here's what they cannot afford to mess up. The Ultra unit's hype factor is clearly something we can't overlook, so units who frankly aren't that hype are instantly crossed off the list. No Kefla, no Gotenks, no Cooler, none of that. At least for a celebration as big and important as the 7th anniversary. I've gone in depth in a different video talking about my predictions and criteria, so you should go check that out as well. From there, I think the Ultra needs a strong, well-aging, balanced kit over a broken one. I definitely want a unit stronger and better aging than Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta or Beast Gohan, but I also don't want the unit to be too much of an all-rounder like Majin Vegeta or Perfect Cell to some extent. The character needs to strictly follow their designation with a slight vulnerability in the field that isn't theirs. I don't think a unit who does a truckload of damage should also be unkillable. I also think the banner for the Ultra itself needs a rework with better rates, better step bonuses, and a real pity system which will all probably do a great job of building community excitement. But I also have to keep it real though, even a perfect Ultra means nothing without the right content to back it up. If Part 3 drops with the usual celebration stuff and one banner, the anniversary is officially cooked. Here's what they can do differently though. First, a new original series story. It's about time events like these got a rework. Imagine a Tournament of Power-inspired original series event where we can farm Z-Power for this EX Jiren, as well as his Awakening Z-Power, and he gets a Zenkai, that would be pretty cool. And we can also get one based on the Super Saiyan 2 Goku vs Majin Vegeta fight, where we can farm Z-Power and Awakening Z-Power for this EX Super Saiyan 2 Goku. Aside from expanding bench possibilities with these two characters, this new iteration of original series events could all be dynamic area battles, while also dropping better unique rarity equipment made for EX characters of the saga they're from. So for example, let's say that this Goku vs Majin Vegeta event actually happens. I think there should be a stage where you can farm unique equipment for characters who are EX and Majin Buu saga. I think it would also be dope if cut-ins from the show and character dialogue appeared in the middle of the fight as you reach a specific enemy threshold. This makes the content a bit more interesting compared to how it is right now, where you just need to go through the stages and defeat the enemy and then a bit of extra dialogue plays. These are just a few ways this underutilized event category could be improved to strengthen all the hype for Part 3. Let's Fight 4. This one I think a lot of people would get on board with. I think a Let's Fight 4 against Super Saiyan God Goku would be more useful after the anniversary though, when the XP buffs no longer apply. Even so, it would also let us farm friendship ranks for unique equipment events and to max out free-to-play units that we're seeing right now, like Kid Gohan as well as Jiren from Part 1. Full Power Battle revamped. This one is a personal favorite of mine. Full Power Battle at one point was marketed as the next level of interactive combat for Legends, featuring varying enemy special attacks for each stage, and I even remember cutscenes were promised to appear in certain points mid-fight. Instead, we got the same old animations and moments, no matter who we fought. With the way Legends is now, they could even take it one step further. Not only could they finally add exclusive cutscenes and several different hazard types, they could easily implement the level changes from dynamic area battles to make the fight more interesting. The thing I want the most though is a giant fight. They need to give us a giant fight against any great ape, or maybe even Salmax if we're lucky. A giant boss could just have different attacks depending on if we're in the air or on the ground. There are a million different ways for them to revamp and reintroduce Full Power Battle as the game mode it was meant to be, and there's no better time to do that than the 7th anniversary. Legends Anniversary Rewind. This one would also be dope. I really want to do more videos documenting the anniversary exclusive stories on my channel. Right now I only have a video on the 7th anniversary one and the one for the 4th anniversary way back when. It would honestly be dope to see the 1st anniversary story remade with the map format, or to revisit other cool moments like when Vegito Blue turned a 1v2 into a 2v1 about 5 years ago. I definitely think these are the moments the veterans like myself would get nostalgic for, and the newer players should also get to know. To keep it fair or exclusive, I wouldn't mind each story being out for only a day or two. Collab comebacks. This one is definitely more biased, but I'm sure a lot of you can get behind it. Goku from Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and Android 13's events need to make a comeback one more time. I personally just want to tie this one loose end, but it's not like the new players getting access to these exclusive characters is a bad thing either. And even then, all these changes won't matter if the rest of the game feels dead. Now let's talk about the other stuff. These changes won't break the game, but they'll make the 7th anniversary hit that much harder. First, remove Perfect Vanish. Yeah, okay, this is never gonna happen, but I thought I might as well mention it here. Equipment reroll pity. I think it's about damn time we got a pity for a red roll. A simple gauge system applied separately for each equip would be great, where a green roll fills the gauge by 1% or like 0.5%, while the yellow rolls fill the gauge by 0.5% or 0.25%. Once the gauge reaches 100%, you're guaranteed a perfect roll on that slot for that equip. I'd imagine this system would do a great job of making equipment rerolling more user-friendly, and it'd just be nice to know that we're guaranteed to eventually reach our intended target for the equips we're working on, and we have a transparent way of tracking our progress. Free slot 1 reroll. Speaking of equipment rerolling, there needs to be a way for us to get these tickets for free. Put them up for 10 platinum coins, 12 great weekend medals, or even 10 legends medals. Free-to-play accessibility is such an important thing when it comes to how much effort is rewarded. I think free-to-play players who put in a lot of time and effort into the game deserve to at least be given the choice to use such an integral item for making better equipment. Update Legends ticket lineup. This last one's definitely more obvious. We only have units from before the 4th anniversary. This shop is more than 3 years behind in terms of meta relevance. It's honestly a pretty bad joke of a long-term pity system, and it needs to be caught up to at least the 5th anniversary. So it'll include these characters like MUI Goku, as well as the Majin Buu duo. So with all of that, will it be enough? If Part 3 delivers on even half of this, it'll go a long way in making the 7th anniversary a memorable celebration. One that doesn't just ride the hype from an Ultra release, but one that shows the devs really care about what we're missing and are striving to make Legends the best it can be. Until then though, only time will tell. Comment what you think a good update for Part 3 would be, especially if I didn't include it in the video. If you want to check out my Ultra predictions, go to the video on your left, and if you want a more in-depth discussion on unique Dokubaki impact animations, you can go to the video on your right. And yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this one. Bye. Thanks for watching. Never stay perfect. Always get better. Peace.